Alright, it's time for another LearnWake analysis video. This is a user clip uploaded by andelars, and he basically just wants some advice on cleaning up the tricks in the video. So let's go over this video and see what we can figure out. The biggest thing, after reviewing the video, the biggest thing that I noticed was for all your heel side tricks, even though you're doing a few different types of tricks, you did a back roll, a heel side front side 360, and a heel side backside 180. The back roll and the heel side front side 3 and the heel side backside 180 are all kind of different tricks, so they require or actually function better with different positions. You're actually using the same exact setup position for all those tricks, and I think that's why your back roll doesn't function like it could. So let's check it out and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. So ideally, for a back roll, you wouldn't want a seated position. You'd actually want a taller position. A taller position yields better leverage, gets your hips more forward, and it just initiates the rotation better. And then down the road, when you progress to back roll to reverts and grab back rolls, it's just going to form a better foundation. So this position, not really ideal for a back roll. Ideal for wake jumps and spins, but not a back roll. So that's one thing you can do to clean up your back roll. And this is a common problem. But you see right here how your hips are not forward. They're a little bit out behind you. And that's what kind of gives you this little, it's more of a Mexican style rotation instead of a progressive edge type of back roll. It's fine to learn a Mexican back roll first, but probably better to learn a progressive back roll before a Mexican, just because next thing you're going to want to do is learn a back roll to revert, and it'll be a lot easier to do that with a progressive edge back roll position. So that's the biggest thing I see right there. You land it nice, so, but again, we rewound it and just checking out the wrong position. So you should be from your shoulders to your knees. You still want your knees rolled forward, but you just don't want this bend right here. You want to take that out, and you want to have your hips forward to start, so that way when you take off through the wake right here, you'll be straighter, hips more forward, and you'll just get a better pop. And like I said, it'll just put you in a better position for roll to reverts and grabbed back rolls like melon, any front hand grab back rolls. A Mexican back roll's good for backhand grab. So if you do it this way, you'll be able to grab it indie, tail and stalefish. So, all right, let's move on to the next trick. Your toe side setup looks pretty good. Now, this is a common problem amongst a lot of riders, and you can see right here. See how your chest is pointed down a little bit? It gets worse as you ride up the wake further. See right there? First thing it does is it aims down towards the water instead of up. So let's rewind it a little bit and check this out. Right here, you should be cocking your shoulders back and aiming your chest up towards the sky. So that way when you leave the wake, you can throw the trick up more, and then it'll go over and into the roll. And that'll just give you more height, a better rotation. And when we get further into the video, it'll help you on your toe side front roll too. So right here, I mean, it's really pointed down towards the water, and that's what limits your height. If you cocked your shoulders back, let's see if I can rewind it. Excuse me. If you cocked your shoulders back more right here, as you rode up the wake, the board would be more out in front of you. So see how the board's, whoops. So you see how the board, it's still underneath you, but you could be further back here, which would allow you to go up further. And then it immediately shoots out behind you, and that's why you're limited on your pop. So you're just diving kind of forward and down into the flip instead of up, over, and then into the flip. It's not a bad scarecrow, it's just kind of limited height-wise because of that initial takeoff. So let's look at this. I believe this is your front roll. Same setup. I mean, you should have the same setup for both, a scarecrow and a front roll, since a scarecrow is a toe side front roll to fakie. But same thing. I explained this in another LearnWake analysis video. If you took a sword and stuck it right through your chest right there, or a pole or something to kind of give you a reference where your chest was pointed, it would be pointed down towards the water right here if it was straight out of your chest. If you cocked your shoulders back, then the pole or sword would be pointed straight up towards the sky, and that would just direct the trick up more and then over. So that's your fix. But your edge change, your technique on your edging and everything's fine. Just the direction, the position of your upper body before you get to the wake needs to be more cocked back first and then thrown forward into the flip as you leave the top of the wake to direct it more upward. And that's why you just don't have the height and the time to really finish your rotation. Also, you see the handle right here. I would try to push it down towards the water and then back towards your takeoff. Holding it high like this just doesn't let you get the board back twisted. Let's rewind it a little bit and see if I can see anything else a little earlier. Yeah, you push it down here, but it needs to go back towards the wake. And then you actually, instead of continuing to push it down and towards the wake, it looks like you lift it up. Yeah, see right there, you lift the handle up instead of pushing it down to get back twisted to toe side. But I think the overall problem is the takeoff. If you aim the trick more up with your chest by cocking your shoulders back, it's just going to give you more time to get back to toe side. And I think that's all you need. Alright, now check out this position. When we look at this is your heel side, front side 360. Now if we go back to your back roll, you're actually going to crouch down into that same position. So that's kind of what I mean by you're using the same position for all your heel side tricks when you actually should be using different positions. Like we teach the tall, the middle, and the seated position. For a back roll, you want to use the tall position. And if we go back to your 360, now this one you want to use the seated position, so you should be more seated right here so you have less leverage and you can use more legs into the jump. This isn't a bad 360. Looks pretty good. One thing that I would get used to doing, it's going to feel kind of weird, is right here, is I would try to, before you, see how early you kind of start spinning? I would try to think about pulling your knees up first, then initiate the spin. So actually do something prior to initiating a spin. So stand tall through the wake, leave the wake, get up into the air, pull your knees up, and then pull and spin. And that'll kind of give you that knees up before you start spinning will give you a little bit more delay, which will actually set your axis better. But then on the landing, watch your head as we kind of frame forward. See how your head's kind of facing forward? Try to keep your head, your chin at your back shoulder and looking back at the wake. And that'll actually stop you from over-rotating slightly and getting into this kind of slide position. See how you kind of slide out? That's all kind of a product of just bringing your head around too far. So land with your chin at your back shoulder. And then this heel side backside 180 is not bad. Setup's right, seated position, just like the 360. I think you start the rotation a little bit early. So you see how the nose is pointed up right here? I would wait a little bit longer until you're more over the center line, the prop line, and more leveled out to start spinning, and that'll actually, now you see right here you're about to land tail heavy, and that's just a product of spinning while you're still on your way up. So if we rewind it just a touch, so see how the nose is up, and that's when you're spinning, and that's why you finish with the nose up. It's like the way you take off is the way you're going to land. If you waited a split second longer, whoops, a little too far. Let's go a little forward. I guess it won't let me, so we'll just be patient and wait. So let's check it out. Alright, if you would have waited till right here where the board was more level to start spinning, then you would have been positioned level on the landing. And I like how you keep your head back on the landing. That's awesome. That's real hard for riders to do, but it's something that you need to do on a backside 180. So let's recap. Alright, heel side back roll. Make sure you use that tall position where you're straight from your knees to your shoulders and your hips are up, but you still have your knees rolled forward, and that'll give you better leverage and a better takeoff position. And then for your front roll based tricks, toe side front roll and toe side front roll to fakie or a scarecrow, make sure that you cock your shoulders back before taking off. Let's see if I can get to that position. So right here, shoulders should be back more, aim that chest up more, and then off the top of the wake throw the trick forward, and that should give you more height for both. Just make your scarecrows higher, but also give you more time to finish that front roll rotation. And then let's fast forward to your 360. So right here, remember to stand tall, pull your knees up first, then start spinning. So you can see you started spinning around almost before you pulled your knees up, about the same time. I would try to pull your knees up, then spin, and then on the landing, try to keep your chin at your back shoulder so you don't slide out like that. And then on the backside 180, just wait a little bit longer to start the spin. Setup's good, but wait till you're over the prop line and leveled out. Don't spin with the nose up or you'll land with the nose up. That's about it. Your riding looks really good. Just gotta fix or tweak those things a little bit and make sure you use the appropriate riding or edging position depending on what trick that you're doing. Alright, thanks for uploading the video.